How's everybody doing today? It is February 10th, 2021, and first off, I just want to let everybody know why I have not been able to post for almost a week now. Number one, my mom has been really sick, so if you could say, some prayers, that would be greatly appreciated. So I've been trying to tackle that, and there's been a lot of stuff going on with my son and just a few other things. But not only that, I tried to back up my YT videos before they were deleted and taken off of YT and also disappearing off of my computer itself. And after downloading probably about 5 or 6 of the videos, that's it, my system crashed completely. When I finally got everything rebooted, got everything back up, my OBS, which is a software where I record my audio and my video, would only record video no matter what. No audio no matter what. I literally had to, I reinstalled it, uninstalled it, reinstalled it, tried all these other programs. Today, finally, after trying like the 4th program, I finally got it to where I can do this again. So I apologize for that, but I am back. I will continue to make videos, and I will not give up, okay? Now, speaking of giving up, I just recorded this entire video that you're going to see 10 minutes ago, okay? And the cable had gotten bumped just a little bit, and all my audio was gone again. It's devastating again, but I am going to redo it right now for you, so bear with me. I hope this is just as good as the first one, okay? We're going to start here from lovely CNN, okay? It says, fully vaxxed people can skip the CV quarantine, the CDC says. This is only from an hour ago, okay? It says people who have been fully vaxxed against CV right now, that means with 2 doses, okay, of either the Pfizer and BioNTech or Moderna vax, okay, can skip the quarantine if they're exposed to someone infected with the virus, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said Wednesday. Okay, it says that doesn't mean that they should stop taking precautions, the CDC noted in an updated guidance. It's just not necessary for them to quarantine. How many times are we given updated guidance, right? It's just one after another, whether it's symptoms, who it's going after, what areas it's going after. You understand what I'm saying. It says fully vaxxed persons who meet the criteria will no longer be required to quarantine following an exposure to someone with CV19, the CDC said in updates to its webpage with guidance on vaccine. It says right here, vaxxed persons with an exposure to someone with suspected or confirmed CV19 are not required to quarantine if they meet all of the following criteria, the CDC added. And I just love this part, right? Since the beginning, it doesn't have to be anything confirmed, just suspected. Oh, well, this person might have it. They had some symptoms, or, we think that they had it. It's just unbelievable. It says, the criteria says they must be fully vaxxed, having both shots with at least 2 weeks having passed since the second shot. That's because it takes 2 weeks to build up full immunity after the second dose of the vax. It says, but the CDC says protection may wear off after 3 months. Yes, 3 months. You're going to go and take their jab. You're going to get 2 of them, okay? And they're telling you that, it's going to wear off after 3 months. So we've been talking about this. Oh, come get the first jab. Nope, now there's 2 of them. Oh, now there's a booster. Oh, nope, now it's going to be every 3 months. It's just, it's very, very frustrating because we saw this coming, okay? It says, so people who had their last shot 3 months ago or more should still quarantine if they are exposed. They also should quarantine if they show symptoms, the CDC said. It says this recommendation to waive quarantine for people with vaxxed-derived immunity aligns with quarantine recommendations for those with natural immunity, which eases the implementation, the CDC said. It says people who have been vaxxed should still watch for symptoms for 14 days after they have been exposed to someone who is infected, the CDC said. And everyone, vaxxed or not, needs to follow all other precautions to prevent the spread of the virus, the CDC said. This is not least because it's possible even vaxxed people could harbor the virus in their noses and throats and pass it to others. Yeah, that's right. So even if you went and you are vaxxed, you took their jab, oh, look at this. you could still have it in your nose and your throat and pass it on to others. This is getting so far ridiculous, it's not even funny anymore, okay? It says, at this time, vaxxed persons should continue to follow current guidance to protect themselves and others, including wearing a mask, staying at least 6 feet away from others, avoiding crowds, avoiding poorly ventilated spaces, covering coughs and sneezes, washing hands often, following CDC travel guidance, and following any applicable workspace or school guidance, including guidance related to personal protective equipment use or SARS-CoV-2 testing, the agency said. Wow, right? Did that not just keep going and going and going? Oh my gosh. It says, vaxes prevent symptomatic illness, but they have not yet been shown to prevent asymptomatic illnesses, the CDC noted. While people with no symptoms can spread CV, the CDC said, symptomatic and pre-symptomatic transmission is thought to have a greater role in transmission than purely asymptomatic transmission. Wow, that's pretty confusing there, but it's just... they're just telling you once again that anybody can spread it, and it's not, doesn't always have to be the one that is completely asymptomatic, but it's somebody that maybe, doesn't show them, you're coming in contact with them before they show their symptoms, It's just another way to push fear, okay? It says, plus, the benefits of not unnecessarily forcing people into lockdown for 2 weeks may outweigh the risk of transmission in these cases, the CDC said. You like that? Forcing them into a lockdown. Oh, yeah. It says these criteria could also be applied when considering work restrictions for fully vaxxed healthcare personnel with higher risk exposure as a strategy to alleviate staffing shortages. Of note, exposed healthcare personnel would not be required to quarantine outside of work, the CDC said, okay? This is just them again. Come and get our vax. Come and get our jab. Come do it. You listen to us. Do it right, and we won't quarantine you. You can, you don't have to go to a 2-week quarantine. Just come listen to us. Take our jab, okay? It says, as an exception to the above guidance, no longer requiring quarantine for fully vaxxed persons, vaxxed inpatients and residents in healthcare settings should continue to quarantine following an exposure to someone with suspected or confirmed CV-19. Outpatients should be cared for using an appropriate transmission-based precaution, the CDC added. It's just nuts, okay? This is how far it goes. You have it absolutely, this tracking, tracing, and testing. That's what this is one of the major parts of it, okay? When Tim was at the grocery store, he ran into Alex. Alex ran into Eric at the gas station. Now I ran into you. Oh, yep. Now guess what? Tim at the very beginning showed symptoms. He could have had it. Now everybody in that line needs to either go get tested, watch for symptoms, quarantine for 2 weeks, etc., etc. It's ridiculous. It's impossible, especially in smaller towns like mine. It would already have been wrapped from one end of the town to the other end. Everybody would be in contact with somebody. This does not work, okay? It works for them. It just doesn't work logically, but we know that we're not allowed to logically think, right? Just like the Forbes thing told us, the article told us, only trust the health experts. It's too dangerous. It's actually deadly to think on your own and do any, investigation or, looking into information yourself. Don't do it. Trust us. And look at this. It says, that's because it's not clear how effective the vax is in people who are hospitalized. Wow. Okay, so you can go and get the jab, and they're telling you that, even though you got the jab twice, we don't know how effective it is if you're in the hospital because you're around too many people or this or that. Oh, wow. It says, although not preferred, healthcare facilities could consider waiving quarantine for vaxxed patients and residents as a strategy to mitigate critical issues, e.g. the lack of space, staff, or PPE to safely care for exposed patients or residents, when other options are unsuccessful or unavailable. These decisions could be made in consultation with the public health official and infection control experts. There you go. You're experts, right? They can all be made, the decisions can be made with the consultation of, the health officials, the experts, right? Same thing, right? And look at how they're using this. If they're already completely vaxxed, then we might be able to, tell them they don't have to do this or they don't have to do that or they can come back to work here. You're already seeing how they're going to push this stuff to where you're going to, to go back to work, you're going to have, be vaxxed, okay? They're going to say, oh, it's not mandatory because they're not forcing every single person. But when they're telling you can't get on a plane, train, or a bus, right? You can't go to work. Your child can't go to school without getting it. Pretty soon it'll be what? You can't go to the grocery store. You can't buy food. You can't do this. You can't do that, right? Even though it's not mandatory, technically, everything that you need to do in your life to survive won't be allowed if you don't have it, right? And this thing is so deadly, right? Just such a deadly thing. This is all we've heard about over and over again, is how bad this is. And, nothing but fear, right? Check this out. The world's second oldest person survives CV19 at age 116. Yeah, you heard that. A 116-year-old lady just beat this deadly, deadly pandemic. Coming out of Paris, it says a 116-year-old French nun who is believed to be the world's second oldest person has survived CV19 and is looking forward to celebrating her 117th birthday on Thursday. So, literally, tomorrow she's going to be 117 and she beat this. Okay? Says the gerontology research group, which validates details of people thought to be 110 or older, lists French woman Lucie Randon, Sister Andre's birth name, as the second oldest known living person in the world. French media report that Sister Andre tested positive for the virus in mid-January in the southern French city of Toulon. But just 3 weeks later, the nun is considered to have recovered. Here we go. Best part of this entire article. I didn't even realize I had it, she told the French newspaper Bar Matin. Yeah, you love that? She didn't even know she had it. 116, almost 117-year-old lady, as frail as you can pretty much get. She's blind in a wheelchair, and she didn't even know she had it. Oh, how can people still be falling for this and running to take their jab? Says, Sister Andre, who is blind and uses a wheelchair, did not even worry when she received her diagnosis. She didn't ask me about her health, but about her habits. David Tavel, the communications manager for the care home where the nun told the newspaper. For example, she wanted to know if meal or bedtime schedules would change. She showed no fear of the disease. Praise God, right? Praise God. On the other hand, she was very concerned about other residents, okay? And this is an important part of this, okay? Because they continue to try to push this on you and I, people like us, okay? Oh, well, you're not scared of this. You need to be scared of this virus, Eric. What are you doing? Do you not care about your other people? No. I mean, right here, look at this. Is somebody that obviously has pre-existing conditions and could not be more of an at-risk patient, right, to get this, more chance to die than pretty much anybody in the world, right, at her age, everything else, right, that ties into it that they say, would make you die from CV, right, and she wasn't scared of it. She showed no fear of it, but she still cared about the other people. It's exactly what it is with us. We are not scared of it. We have no fear of it, but we still care about our family, our friends, elderly people, children. It's always, oh, you don't care because we don't want to, listen and fall in line. Well, that's just not true, okay? And look how they had to throw this in. I knew it. Mainstream media, they have to push this in. It says not all of the home's residents shared Sister Andre's luck. In January, 81 of the 88 residents tested positive for the virus, and about 10 of them died, according to Bar Matin. Can you explain to me how about 10? This is what journalism is these days, right? You just say whatever you want to say. You don't have to be exactly correct. You literally can say about 10 people died. So is that 6? Is that 8? Is that 9? Is that 13? 14? It's ridiculous. How do you do something and not do the research? It just shows credibility, how you do not have to have any credibility to do this. It says, once doctors declared the nun no longer infected, she was allowed to attend Mass. It just shows, for something that's so deadly, so scary, this happens right here, and it's not even an issue, We got one more thing I want to throw into the end of this. It's very, very important. Look at this. This shows where we're going, and it kind of is going to give us a timeline to where we really need to be paying attention for your children, okay? It says the U.S. is likely to start CV19 vaccine in children by late spring or early summer, Dr. F says. says the United States will likely start vaccinating children by late spring or early summer, Dr. F said on Friday, as the studies are underway to test the safety and effectiveness of the Pfizer Inc. and Moderna's Inc.'s CV19 vaccines in children under 16. It's just sickening to me. Who goes and gives their children as a guinea pig to go do this? Yeah, sorry, take my son up there. Here you go, take my son. Yep, test whatever you want on him. Let me know how it goes. I mean, it's just, if that's not child endangerment, I don't understand, But it goes on, it says, over the next couple of months, we'll be doing trials in an age de-escalation manner so that hopefully by the time we get to late spring and early summer, we will have children being able to be vaxxed according to the FDA guidance. Dr. F said, speaking at a White House press briefing. Now, the reason why this is really, really important is because I've already been hearing on our local radio, them talking about our Governor Whitmer talking about having our children vaxxed before school is out, okay? And that it's the best thing to do and that they're going to do everything they can to do that. That's exactly what this lines up with, right? The whole United States looks like they're trying to make sure that they can get the vaccine done this school year. They don't want to have to wait till September, October, you know what I mean, to get the children back into school and then them say, to come back, you're going to have it, which we already know is 100% true. Next school year, I don't see how there's any possibility that they don't say that the children have to have this vax now, right, the CV vax. But it looks like they are for sure trying to get as many as they can that are in right now, okay? So please make sure that you are paying attention to this stuff and making a plan, trying to be ready so that, as soon as you hear this coming down the pipeline, if your children are still in school or wherever, you need to be ready to be able to pull them, get them out of the situation if that's what you want to do, okay? Everybody, I hope you are all doing well. I hope that in the last few days I haven't been able to talk to you. I hope that we can continue to talk back and forth. If you have not subscribed to my backups, ErikSeesAll 2 here on YouTube and also ErikSeesAll on BitChute. I'll be uploading as much as I can, and I just want to say thank you for the support, the prayers, and all of the comments. They're awesome. Everybody, no fear. There's no panic. Just prepare. Preparation is all we are trying to talk about here, okay? Being aware of it, staying 1 or 2 steps ahead of the enemy, because this is truly a battle of good versus evil. This is not a battle of Republican, Democrat, you know what I mean, black, white, vaxxer, anti-vaxxer. You understand what I'm getting at. As much as they're trying to push and divide us, that's not what this is. It is a much, much larger thing, as large as you can ever imagine. This is a true battle of good versus evil. So right now, you need the full armor of God. So please, if you have not, hit your knees, ask for forgiveness. I promise you, you will never, ever regret it. Okay? I love you all. Continue to stay safe, stay strong. We'll talk to you soon. God bless.